Okay, morning everyone. Welcome to the briefing on Wednesday, the 20th of July. I can certainly say it's nice to be rid of that oppressive heat. The last couple of days have been pretty uncomfortable. And we're back into I think normal temperatures for this time of year, but definitely not a sort of normal weather pattern. You can see the sort of mess that's on the chart for today. Quite unpredictable as to what's going to happen. This sort of breakdown of the weather we've had. Been looking at where the potential thunderstorms are for today, and it appears that hopefully they're a bit further north than initially predicted, say 24 hours ago. High pressure will be building again at some point a little bit later in the week as this lot moves away, and then the high pressure starts to come in again. But as I say, the temperatures hopefully should be about normal for this time of year. So what have we got in that chart there? There's cold fronts and trough lines. The ones here that are going across into the North Sea now are quite active. There's rain on that. And the trough line in here is something that'll pep up during the day. There's not a lot of rain in there just at the moment. And you can see the winds, they're sort of southwesterly just at the moment, but plenty of spacing on the isobars, so they're not strong, that's for sure. The TAFs are suggesting 230, 10 knots. It looks southwesterly out there at the moment. Few at 1,200 feet first thing in the morning. Yeah, that's probably what we've got now. Some of the low cloud which will lift, and then you get the sort of prob 40s have broken at 1,200 feet, and the tempos of showers and rain from sometime late morning, early afternoon, with a thunderstorm warning in there, chucked in for good measure. I think we'd be unlucky to catch a thunderstorm here. I think it's more north of the M4 by the looks of it, the sort of Heathrow area, where you're likely to catch thunderstorms, and they're talking about showers and rain from midday onwards. I think that's the most likely place to see those. Upper winds, so bear in mind the lower winds are 230, 240, upper winds 240, 15 knots, and northwesterly here. So I haven't quite made up my mind which run we're going to set up on just yet. I'll take a look at the windsock and make the decision when I go and put the launch point vehicle out, because certainly the centre of the country, it looks like it's sort of northwesterly, but down over us, I suspect we're going to have a southwesterly flow. SatPic just shows a lot of cloud, and it sort of shows the trend of where it's going. There's the rain in here. It's sort of swirling around this way and then coming back up across here. There will be gaps. It'll break up. I think what we see out the window now will lift and break up fairly readily. A little bit of some rain just lurking around here. Nothing near us, but this is the frontal system that's going through. But the instability will potentially trigger a trough line. And showers on that a little bit later. Temperature wise, seem to sort of coincide with what the BBC are suggesting. So 26 degrees around us at best. I think that's somewhere around average for this time of year, 24 to 26. Hotter in East Anglia, that's for sure. And dew points, well, currently they're fairly high. Dew points are about 15 at the moment, but suspect they're going to come back down to about 12 during the day. Quite a lot of moisture and humidity, much higher than yesterday. So it means that it'll feel sticky, that's for sure. The soundings, well, sort of shows a bit of promise. The 1 o'clock running up to that shows quite nice air mass in here. up to sort of what could be cloud bases getting up to about 3.5. But you can see up through here it's fairly unstable, and by the time you get to sort of the afternoon, there's less of an inversion in here to pin things back, and very unstable all the way up to 25,000 feet. And then looking further north, you see a sort of certainly a worse picture, much more unstable up through here by 1 o'clock. And into the afternoon, very, very unstable. So that's why I think there's more chance of showers further north with the vertical development. The actual Larkhill, not sure how relevant this actually is, really. I'm looking at this being the cloud trapped in here that we see 1,000 feet probably. And then as the temperature goes up, slowly these two lines will come apart, and then you're looking at maybe 3,000 feet in here, but it is still relatively unstable all the way up through here. Small inversion here might keep a lid on it for a bit, but quite unstable. And look at how high the dew points are. They were about 15, 16 here when this ascent was taken first thing this morning. So, you know, definitely a sort of couple of soundings that show there's a chance of getting some hefty showers or possibly thunderstorms a little bit later. But as I think, further north probably. So top meteo showing quite a lot of cloud at sort of 9 o'clock-ish. And then you run through a couple of hours, that breaks up, turns into cumulus. And we should see sunshine and quite nice conditions for a few hours. And I think this is the sort of trough line in here that's developing during the day. Doesn't really show us reaching us, but it just shows it turning into showers. And you can see that if you look at the precipitation chart. So by 12 o'clock, getting showers all the way up through the Midlands. That's roughly where the BBC was suggesting it was going to be, north of us, across the M4 up towards Oxford and into the Midlands. And quite intense showers, I think, at times. Fingers crossed that we might stay clear of it for most of the day. Thermal heights. By sort of 11, 12 o'clock. Heading towards 1,000 meters, so 3,000 feet, I think 2.5 above Lasham. And then round us, it could get to 3.5, 4 above sea level. But lots and lots of showers forecast to the north. So I think the soaring is going to be, the soaring area is going to be a bit limited, really. And top meteo's distance for today is suggesting an area down to the south of us and into Kent. Tricky area, especially because the winds are southerly as well. You're likely to get some sea air incursion. So that nice weather is going to be sat in the airspace around Gatwick, I suspect. Sky sight, well, they're suggesting a similar sort of thing. That's the cloud base, 12 to 1,400 meters around Lasham by 1, 2 o'clock. And then they're saying the shower activity further north in the sort of Oxfordshire, Bicester area, and still quite reasonable around us. So let's hope that that's correct. And their potential flight distance is a similar sort of area, really. So I think soarable here. Hopefully the showers will stay away. It'll be few and far between near us, and it will be quite a pleasant day. But it's going to feel a bit humid and muggy, that's for sure, in that southwesterly wind. Airspace wise, compared to last weekend, not a lot going on, to be honest. 26 is Farnborough, and I'll cover that one in a separate AIC here. You got number 24, which is high intensity radio transmissions of Boscombe, nothing to worry about there. All these little ones here, 30, 35, 37, they're either paragliding or don't overflies. The only one of any real importance is number 38, which is parachuting basically into Bryce Norton at Carterton. And it's from early afternoon up to 6,000 feet. So unless you're planning transit across the airspace, it's not going to be an issue. Don't worry about number 40. That's just an amendment to the weekend's airspace. And there's competition up at Husbos this week. Right, so Farnborough. The airspace gets a little bit complicated in the second week because it varies with timing. So you can see the areas here. Areas 1, 2, 3, and 4. The timings on those to be active are 13:30 to 16:30 local time. You think, okay, great, that works out. That's quite good. We can steer clear of it in the morning. But then you check the rest of the AIC, and there's other bits of airspace which are effectively the current Farnborough Class D airspace, all of this here. And this is active as restricted area temporary from 8 o'clock in the morning to 14:45, and then from 16:15 to 2000 hours. So I think just basically look at it that the circle here, this area 1 large circle, which is the bit that you would need to avoid if you're going up to the northeast, that's just active from 13:30 to 16:30 today, but the rest of it regard it as pretty much active all day. One thing of note, they do have for the display periods, they do have a hold up here to the north near Newbury. And the idea being that they can hold aircraft there while one's displaying, hold it out there and then route it in. It has been used this week, so just keep a good look out if you were in that area. There is a map of that in the office if you want one. Right, so operationally, we'll get going as quick as we can. I'll put the launch point vehicle out there by 9:30, 9:45, decide which runway we're going to use, and then we'll crack on. There's no jet movements forecast for the day. Certainly, I've not had any NOTAMs. First thing this morning, let me just have a quick check. I don't think there is. No, certainly nothing forecast from yesterday either. So it should be quiet on that front. But don't be surprised if they chuck a Navajo at us at some point. Right, and I will see you out there.